The Imitator. Julia spent her first days at Casine imitating what little she'd known of Lena's presence there, emulating her easy familiarity with the chefs de cuisine, acting out the memory of her command over utensils. In those earliest shifts, Julia felt as though she felt, the rest of the restaurant's mostly male staff mentally adding and subtracting competency and attractiveness points to and from their fluctuating impressions of her, tallying up opinions relating to her appearance and character which, once formed, would be hard for her to ever improve upon. At her previous restaurant of employ, the latest in a series of incorporated dining ventures executively co-managed by a celebrity chef known, in the industry, for the emotionally toxic atmospheres of his kitchens, and increasingly, on the industry's outside, for his strongly worded online free speech punditry and resultant new media fan base of neoconservatives. Julia had earned a reputation as an easy mark. A line chef over-eager about the job and therefore manipulable into assuming responsibilities occasionally beneath, but more often than not well above, her pay grade. She had been waiting to become the next version of herself at a new job for a long time, long months. She had to be careful, now she was here, not to fall back into old Julia behaviours, not to reveal her true nature as a crier, pleaser, and worrier, not to do or say the kinds of things the person she was pretending to be wouldn't say or do, not to let others' views of her warp her view of herself, not to be vulnerable in the places she had been before. The apartment. After her first full week of non-trial shifts, Julia returned home to be airily "Hey," by Margot, her landlord, flatmate, and older sister's closest friend, who was lying in her ritual nighttime position on the living room sofa, her attention split-screened between her smartphone's various feeds and an episode of prestige television streaming on her laptop. The living room was mood-lit in accordance with Margot's preferred rotary dimmer setting, 30 degrees clockwise from exact midway, as demarcated by a Sharpie dot on the white plastic casing of the wall's light switch. "How's it going?" Julia replied. Margot leant awkwardly over to pause her show. "Oh, good. I'm just tired. How's things with you?" "Also good. Also tired. But good tired. From the new job?" "Oh, yeah. How's it all?" "Good so far. Very good so far." Usually, if she arrived back in the evening and saw, from the hallway, the telltale Margot signalling band of light running beneath the living room door, Julia would head immediately to bed. She and Margot had not yet worked out a natural, non-strained way to communicate with one another. Their relationship was probably permanently contaminated by the monthly standing order payments Julia transferred to her for rent. "Better than the old place?" "Oh God, like about a zillion times better?" Julia said, the act of speech becoming increasingly wearying for her to perform. "That's good. I'll have to stop by and try it sometime." "You must." "I will." "Cool. Well, good night." Margot reverted her attention to her devices. "Good night." Winter menu. Aside from maybe occasionally feeling left out of certain in-jokes and references whose origins predated her tenure there, Julia slotted quickly into place in the restaurant's small culture. The staff members who usually made those in-jokes were Ellery and Nathan, Cassine's 4 and second most senior chefs respectively, whom Julia liked and who also seemed to like her back. How the kitchen's chain of operations went was Ellery and Nathan oversaw the hot section, while Julia and one or maybe two members of a high-turnover workforce of junior cooks alternated between the cold and prep lines. Occasionally, she'd cover the plancha or assist on sauté. Other times she'd work the pass and triage the incoming checks. Ellery would always be the one to micromanage the presentations of the outgoing plates to which those checks corresponded, a responsibility he took pride in never delegating. When Ellery spoke to her directly or gave her pointers, she made sure to active listen, nodding and saying things like, "Okay, chef," or